It is extremely unfortunate that the action of the Supreme Court of India has come under scrutiny. But that's the reality we must accept. The actions of India's highest court, the Supreme Court of India and the Supreme Court of India's Collegium have come under national and public scrutiny. Something's wrong. And how could it not come under scrutiny? And why should it not come under scrutiny when the fact is that the Supreme Court has not acted effectively enough till date on a massive cash scam involving a very senior judge. If it is true that 10 or 15 or more crores in cash was found burning in the judge's house, and that cash was unaccounted for, and if this case goes back to the 14th of this month, that is almost a week back, then why on earth has the Supreme Court of India done nothing in the case so far? Done absolutely nothing. If this matter, ladies and gentlemen, was brought to the notice of the Honorable Supreme Court and the Collegium, and if the matter was within the knowledge of the Collegium, led by Honorable Chief Justice of India, SANJEEV Khanna, then why has the Collegium, in the pendency of the action on the complaint, chosen to transfer this judge quietly to the Allahabad High Court? What is the Supreme Court of India doing? And rightly so, the Allahabad High Court Bar Association has said to the Supreme Court of India that no, we are not a dustbin, we are not a trash bin. And rightly so, Harish Salve also told me that the Allahabad High Court is not a dustbin. And why do I get the feeling, like I'm sure you also do, that only after being intensely questioned and pressured by the media has the Supreme Court now come out with a clarification that the transfer of the judge and the pending application against him for holding unaccounted cash are not related? I'm sorry. Tough to believe. Tough to believe. Because the chronology of events and a mere simple perusal of the facts lead me to the conclusion that the Honorable Supreme Court of India should have chosen to act very differently and very decisively in this case, which unfortunately the Supreme Court of India has not done. And that is where the media has to step in. That is where the Republic Media Network has to step in, because, ladies and gentlemen, consider the facts tonight when the executive looks the other way, which it seems to right now. I've seen no action from the executive. When the legislature is yet to make up its mind on an impeachment demand, and when the judiciary appears to be dragging its feet, then it is only the media, and only the media, the fourth estate, which must show the way, because we are the voice of the people. Republic, the voice of the people, and without prejudice, fear or favor. We in the media must remind everyone in the higher judiciary that the eyes of the people are on their actions. Imagine if there was a charge of unaccounted cash burning away in the home of a journalist, a bureaucrat, or even a politician, all hell would have broken loose. Then why is it that when such a cash pile is found burning, allegedly in the home of a serving judge, is the matter being underplayed? The choice in this case should have been between suspension immediate, resignation immediate, or impeachment immediate. Nothing has happened. I don't expect the head of the Delhi Fire Department to confirm the discovery of the cash. Poor guy must be under so much pressure. And with the greatest of respect to him, in this case, in this instance, he's too low down the food chain to speak on a matter that involves corruption in the highest judiciary, and a case which will eventually have strong political undercurrents as well. We have to be practical about it. And therefore, this also raises serious questions about the opacity and ineffectiveness of the Supreme Court collegium system. This collegium system has failed us. This collegium system has failed the people of the country. There is no oversight over the judges. Judges judge themselves. There is no oversight. There is no accountability of the judicial system. Members of the media, civil society have to have oversight over the judiciary's actions. Just as the judiciary seeks oversight over everyone else's actions. Instead of walking a tightrope, I would be much happier to see the highest judiciary implementing the highest standards of justice, propriety, ethical conduct and righteousness in this case towards itself, even if that action of the judiciary is belated and because of prodding from the media. But those same standards that it expects from all others, it should apply to itself. Is that not a logical thing to say, ladies and gentlemen? And at a moment like this, we must all think that it is only when all parts of a democracy work together in cohesion that can public interest be served. And the media is an equal, important, powerful, and necessary institution. Everyone, including the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature, must remind themselves on moments like this that if not for the media, who would show the way? If not for the media, when even the judiciary is dragging its feet, when the legislature is doing nothing, and when the executive is yet to make up its mind, it's only the media that steps in and says, no, what has happened is wrong. I don't know about all media, but at least media like us are necessary in this democracy, for we say that no, it is because we are independent that we are able to represent you. And ladies and gentlemen, most unfortunately, there have been attempts recently by a lot of people to try and underplay the media, to put down the media. But if not for the media, I ask tonight, if not for the media, would this case about Honorable Justice Yashwant Verma and the alleged corruption charges against him, if not for the media, would this have been the number one subject of public conversation today? And that is why I will end by saying, even if because of our prodding, or even if because of public scrutiny, even if now belatedly action happens, we must never forget why it's happening. It's happening because of the media and because of the public.